Here we go, guys. Dealers on the way. They're going to take this 380 Magnum CVT tractor back. Previous video, it died while we were hooking up to a planter. And anyway, we found there was a nut loose on the ground. Talked to the dealer some, and they had an update in the front end they wanted to do, and they wanted to take it back for that. So we're going to get it loaded up this morning, take you guys along for that. It's still tucked in the barn over here where we were hooking up. Now, our 2014 Kenzie 4900 had a big rebuild last year. We did the disc openers, inner scrapers. The big rebuild was last year, so we really can run the disc openers another season. I am going to go through and check those. There's a few that need reshimmed. For the most part, they're good about staying in adjustment. The big thing is just getting the planter in, unfolding it, going back over it. We go over our planters before we put them up. Last year wasn't very muddy, so for the most part we used air to blow this one off. It sets in the barn and gets dirty is what happened. First things first, pop in my Duramax. I always show up early, make sure everything starts. Sure enough, something else will block this tractor in. That's the negatives to a long barn. Sometimes both ends are blocked up. You need something out of the center, and both ends have something that's dead in the water. It's it's an issue we face at times. I try to make it nice for the equipment hauler guys. We'll go ahead and fire this semi up, move it out of the way. After I loaded, we had a south wind, and our big sliding doors there. Common sense, I just parked the truck in front of it. I don't know, didn't want to risk it. But we're pretty wet out here, and more rain in forecast. This is going to delay us for a little while I'm planning. Off day for the trucks. Check the oil in burgundy before I fire this up. That wasn't too bad. Gravity helps you. So it's got big springs here that help hold that hood when it comes out. Now let's grease your hinges up here. Now this is a 2001. It's got a C15. Now this C15's been rebuilt, and it runs strong now. It had, I believe, around 600,000 miles when it was rebuilt. Now we've had 3 turbos. This is the third one of those. We bought those cheap eBay turbos, and man, they run a little over a year, and that's it. I don't know why. They look fine. They didn't work for us. So we went with a genuine Borg Warner this last time, and you know, it's still there. Something to be said for that. I like saving a little money on parts, but that particular instance, it didn't work out for us. So let's see what we got. The full line you can see right there. Usually an oil change. Now an oil change for us is around 10 to 11,000 miles tops. Recently we've been local hauling, so I would say it's more around that 8 to 9,000 range. We do an engine oil change. Now while we're in here, we want to inspect our belts. Look around, make sure. The guys down there did that when they rebuilt the motor. Recently had a radiator, and this is the, let's see, this is the third radiator in this truck. The first one finally rotted out. The second one, it just started leaking. If you chase that, you're risking those guys having to take that in and out. We talked about it, and he didn't feel comfortable that it would stay, and then everybody's gonna have to pull it back apart, and I didn't want that. Try to cut corners on costs when we can, but something like that, having to pull this in and out, being as it's done 3 times, we went with a new radiator. He would have had to take it out to repair it, pressure test it, and then you still got an old radiator. And you're probably 2/3 or more in it, what you would have just taking it out. So unfortunately, we did the radiator too. Now guys, I'm notorious for running cheap drive tires. I'm okay with that. But our steers, I've been going back name brand. Been going with Bridgestones. And I'll tell you why. I had Roadmaster steers on this truck. They were 5 years old, and I was turning to get on the interstate, and one of those blew. There's no damage, nice new tire. Probably a freak thing, but man, when a steer tire blows right before you get on the interstate, it makes you take note. So when I had them replaced, I put name brands on the steers. Just so it's not worth cutting the corner there. But I don't mind me some Roadmasters on the drives and the trailers. Most recent, yeah, there's some Roadmasters there. That's kind of been our go-to recently. Yeah, we've got Roadmasters on this too. Oh, they're trailer tires. I love those. I really thought I'd like the steers, but you know, it just didn't work out. So we'll be name brand steers, or more than name brand. Roadmaster is not that it's a bad brand. It just, I did blow one, so I guess Bridgestone's for us for now. Guys did good work when they did the engine. New lines. I seen some new lines over there. Little details like that are important when you're rebuilding an engine. Okay, we're good on the oil. We're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up. Get it out of his way. By firing it up, when he pulls in, he's gonna be probably 48 foot wide. He'll hang low, so I like to give a lot of room. He can swing wide here, get his rig in. Likely we'll load right through here. And if I have this out of the way, he can have plenty of room to back out. Try to make it trucker friendly. My dad trucked, and he'd always point little things like that out, so that's important. Okay, we have power. Brian's been working on it some to get it to where we could start it so that they could get it back to the dealer. Fire in the hole. CaseIH Magnum 380 CVT. It's a loaded tractor. It's hard to describe how nice this is. Brian's going to use this on the corn planter. We're also going to side dress anhydrous ammonia with our high-speed 60-foot applicator. Being 380 horse, a little better. We had it on the Challenger last year, and that Challenger's set to, I believe, 340. And the guys use it and get by, but this 380 is just a lot more tractor than the Challenger 645D. Physically, power, everything about it. So we should be able to really make short work of the planting with 24 row. We don't have the high-speed meters. They're in between, so 6 mile an hour is okay for us. It says we're low on fuel already. Glad to see the tractor running. Previous video showed where it died. I'll click a link somewhere up there. I don't know how to do that, but it'll be up there, maybe. So you can see our stick. Here's park. When we come down, we go up. That puts it in forward. This puts it in reverse, and you can do it without the clutch. And then you're set. So you push this forward, and it literally just drives off that. And that's how we're driving these modern tractors. Now this one's real handy. They changed the way the hydraulics are. We have a 2019 340 CVT. Same engine, same platform as this, just this is the newer, higher horsepower version. Yeah, we're okay with it being low on fuel. We'll get some. Just gonna pull it out here. Just gonna see this green head, think he's at the wrong place. No, there's a red tractor here. Here we are. Now this has the 38-inch large fronts and duals. Then we also have 50-inch rears, which are the big tire option. Now this is a suspended front end, so it rides really nice. They really have got the rides on these newer tractors figured out. Now, like our 340, you're gonna pull a lever right here. That's one arm. That's kind of a bad angle. Didn't even set you guys down. Pop that up, that kind of access. They tuck everything in. Case makes a nice tractor. A lot of cooling area. I've Iveco engines in these. I've heard nothing but good about those. Some other guys might want to chime in, but I'm kind of fond of my Magnum tractors. Now, we demoed an 8250 Case combine on tracks last fall and liked it. It was a good machine. Not really a lot of advantage. It's kind of a Ford versus Chevy thing with it and the Deere, and we're kind of used to the John Deere now. I always wanted one of those, and kind of staying that way for right now. But we did demo one of these. Now, it had a Pro 700 monitor, and that's a deal breaker for me. Those just never really have been very fond of that. And I think it's all my experience with the one in the Pro 700 monitor in the 340 tractor we have. And when we have issues with the planter, it's the thing beeping, and then that might be something to do with it. And we're lucky enough to have the newest Case monitor now, and also the newest Deere monitor. Our 780 has that, so kind of getting to use both platforms. And here's our 340 CVT. It's 2019. I believe we're over 2,000 hours. I'd have to check for sure. Now, like the 380, hood pops up. Very similar. A lot of similarities. They've just done some small refinements. They're a little better. If each one was set in there, we would probably go for the newer one. They've just made a few things nicer. We'll go over those in future videos, and as we run the tractor some more. You know, we've only run it on a high-speed disc, and I haven't run it other than in the barnyard, and here I am talking about it. So we'll get you guys more updated on that as we run. Well, they sent the truck to my brother's house, and the tractor's here at the farm, so he's down the road. We're gonna go find him. Nah, I heard the brakes kick on. He's right down the road. We're gonna drive the tractor down there. Get it loaded up. So our 380's running, and once again we found a nut, Brian did, loose on the ground. That was arcing. That caused that to melt just enough that it flipped our main power off, and that's what happened to us. He tightened that nut down, tractor fires up and runs. They're going to look into it at the dealer, and while they got it down there, they're going to do a front end update. I'll find out more about that and let you guys know what that is. So he's got a detach, and he's already set that down. When they set that down, the floor, actually the trailer just sits here on the ground, and see we just drive up and on. Now he'll back up, and I'll show you as he does it, but he's going to hook under here and raise this back up. They're equipment hauler. They also have a little bow to them, if you see. That's by design. So when he loads that with weight, it is going to push down, but it's not going to sag. So you'll see these as they go by. They always have a little bow to them. My dad taught me that. Now he goes around. He's going to make sure the mirrors are pushed in. getting it all ready for transport. How you doing an equipment hauler, so land all. These guys that do this all the time are good at this. He's going to ram on there, and he's going to back on up. Pressure. Now he set his brakes, and he's going to operate this over center latch. Chain it down. He was telling me a little about the landall. It's a 30.5 foot deck, 53 foot long. He squeezes it down pretty good because these tires have some give to them. Now they're by design, the tires made to do that, and the reason they do that, the footprints, it makes a larger footprint for compaction. Let me explain. So see our tire here, you only have this area that's going to hit because it's round. Common sense, right? Well, look when it smashes out. Look how long it is. Your contact footprint's longer when it smashes out. That spreads the load out, and that's what a lot of these new tire technologies they're talking about. That's what they're talking about. Flattening that out, getting a larger footprint. You can really see it right there. See how flat that is? Same way on the other side. When those flatten out, it's longer and there's more footprint on the ground. Really pronounced when you get a larger tire. So you can see round. If it's round and just touching with no give, doesn't touch very far. And when you get up there, you got that longer footprint. It really shows that well. Okay, I was talking to him briefly. Those pins, they just had a set that maybe the heat treat wasn't good on a pin in the front end. They didn't want to take any chances, so they're going to take it back. Got all loaded up, chained down. He's getting ready to hit the road. Plant 2025 is currently on a rain delay. Both sides of the road. There, oh man. Now see, these happen after you plant, and look at what a large area. We've only looked at a couple fields. I believe we've got close to 80 fields total. Every one of them will have spots like this in it, with water standing and whatnot. Lakefront property. There, that's water all out in this field. So this lake drains, well, it drains onto us and it hits our pattern tile field. These all connect, luckily. So the water's flowing over the road right here. It's going to work its way over there and onto our pattern tile field, and that pattern tile field takes it to an open ditch. I don't have a shovel with me, but we could speed this flow up just by moving some of these corn stalks. This is a notorious spot. You can see them moving there. It's going to try to plug itself up. So we'll have to get a shovel or something and remove that. That doesn't seem very deep, but that's pretty deep. And this is all field right along the road. This is 138 acres here. We've got an 80 across the road and another one there. And this water's across all of it. You can see a lot of the debris, so we're not plugged yet, but look at that flow. So the water's traveling across here. Over here in this open ditch I was telling you about. Here's There's our open ditch. Now this will flow clear to the creek that's by the farm. And that's our field I was talking about. All that water comes this way to this ditch off those 3 fields I was telling you. Actually, all 4 of the fields that we've just looked at come here. And we brought the outlet in right here in the road. Yeah, there. So it's washing above the tile, and it has a surface drain, but it also has, there, we're going to take a look. So this is the water from all of the fields that comes under the road right here, and there's also a tile underneath, and it goes to the open ditch. Now we're going to look down here, and you can see, I don't want to fall in there, but the black pipe there we installed, had a road cut done, and that goes out to a main that goes clear across the field, and then we run laterals off that. But all the water off those fields is coming right here. Flows under the road over there and across those 2 fields, and it comes here. When we started that project and we investigated, the original tile ran right into these houses across the road, and they were built over the top of it without anybody knowing. So here all these years, those tiles were there, and they were cut off years ago and nobody knew it. That's where all the issue come from. Finding those, that's the trick. And as we get older, we get better at this kind of stuff. But drainage, it's not magical. Water runs downhill, but man, it is tricky. There's a science to it. There's guys that are good at it, guys that aren't. We're learning, we're getting better.